Find out season has been one to behold. Men learning that 50-50 custody and parenting is challenging has definitely been entertaining. This man posted in the Divorce Men subreddit. He says the nightmare never ends, divorce finalized, custody finalized. He says, I'm reaching out because I'm feeling overwhelmed and could really use some advice. I finalized my divorce 2 years ago, and custody has been set at 50-50. I love my kids to death and want to be the best dad I can be, but it's been tough. I'm juggling a full time job, picking up the kids, getting them to their activities and sports, helping with homework, and it's exhausting doing it on my own. The added challenge is that my job requires frequent travel. I'm supposed to notify my ex anytime I'm away for more than 24 hours, giving her first right of refusal for custody during that time. It feels like she's using this to keep tabs on me, and I'm worried we'll end up back in court over how often I'm away. There's also constant back and forth about reimbursing each other for expenses. Recently, I was held in contempt of court for being 2 days late on a $20 payment for a situation that ended up costing me $15,000 in legal fees. My lawyer believes the judge doesn't like me, and honestly, I'm at a loss for how to handle this. The judge said she wants to nip it in the bud, probably, so it won't happen again. I don't know, but I feel like that judge is a feminist and she hates men for real. These first two paragraphs, this first part right here, talking about all of the things that he has to juggle with a full time job, it sounds kind of familiar. And then he has the added challenge that his job requires frequent travel. Now, if he were a mom would take a job that makes sense for parenting. And that's one of the reasons why women have jobs that don't pay as much and why there's something called the mommyhood penalty. There's a reason why there is a wage gap for women that doesn't typically happen to child free women. It's because of parenting tasks. And these people that are getting this 50-50 custody, the men, they're going to feel what moms have been feeling. But let's continue. It gets better. He says between the financial strain, the lack of support, and the constant stress of dealing with my ex, I'm feeling like I can't keep up. I've even started to consider giving her full custody just to get some peace. She may have been a bad wife, but she's not a bad mother. If I could have a fair arrangement to see my kids regularly, I think I could live with that. My only fear is that child support would ruin me financially, and I'm not sure how to negotiate something reasonable without it backfiring in court. I know child support is not negotiable, but is there something I can do to have her agree to something that won't ruin me, but make her take on all of the tasks that I can't do because I'm inadequate and can't juggle things, but not pay her because she's going to be taking on all of that extra. I told y'all it gets better. The kids are almost 10, and I've built a great connection with them. They love me, and I love them, but I feel like the next few years to get back on my feet and fix this mess left by the divorce. I want to be there for my kids, but I also need to take care of myself so I can be the dad they deserve. So let me take a step back. I've already put in some of this work. Let me take a step back so I can be better. Let me just leave them over. Has anyone been in a similar situation or have any advice on how to navigate this? How can I work out a custody arrangement that allows me some breathing room without it becoming a weapon used against me later? I'd really appreciate any insights or experiences you can share. I don't know if I can go back to court and change the first right of refusal when I'm away for 24 hours to include me and my girlfriend, since she's assuming a role of a parent and a live-in nanny. This way I'm not so stressed over it. Thanks for reading. Edit. The cost of the legal fee was $15,000, 7 to my lawyer, 8 to hers, because I was asked to pay her legal fees. Lawyer kept going back and forth because my lawyer said that she was the one in contempt for not trying to address the issue with the parenting coordinator, etc. Number two, I don't have a lawyer anymore, and going forward, I will represent myself. I felt like my lawyer, although she's good, she wasn't following up with the drama anymore as the whole thing became childish. She would forget facts, and plus, I can't afford any lawyer at this point. Number three, I said judge, but it's actually hearing officer. She didn't approve a single thing I ever asked for, approved 98% of what my ex asked for, and the 2% she didn't approve of were just crazy requests. At this point, I think she's either getting money from lawyers here in Louisiana. Here in Louisiana, there's a lot of corruption, or she hates men in general. I think she just hates men and gets annoyed at me for being proud and fighting over my kids. She encourages my ex to bring issues to the court, and I think it gives her satisfaction to humiliate a man or something. My lawyer was a woman, but it didn't really help. I find it so amusing when men find out that parenting is actually challenging. It's full of moving parts. It is expensive. It is taxing. You have to use up your time, energy, and resources, and you have to juggle it. For far too long, mothers have been the ones doing a lot of these things without recognition, without appreciation, um, you know, and if you were to replace what your wife did, the mom did, it would cost a boatload of money. And this man is going to figure it out that if he doesn't get to pawn these children off on his girlfriend, that he's going to have to pay his ex wife. He's going to have to pay. And I think that the wife should refuse to amend the custody. He's just going to have to get a different job, period. And then he's going to have to juggle his children. He's going to have to figure it out. Naive Spread says give her full custody. That's all she wants at the end, but negotiate good terms in exchange. She probably doesn't even want full custody because her plate got lightened because he had to actually parent his children. I mean, he needs to be parenting his children. Do not give her full. No, he can try. She needs to refuse. So Special Prophet asks if he's in Texas. He's already said he's in Louisiana in the edit. Sad Present says, number one, don't pay reimbursement late. That was stupid. You spent $15,000 over avoiding a $20 payment. What the F? Gold Star behavior from here on out because you literally can't afford to screw up like that again. Number two, I think you need a new job. Frequent travel while parenting young children doesn't mesh. It probably worked when you had a partner, but it doesn't anymore. You pick your job over your, I'm sorry, don't pick your job over your kids. I'd work at Starbucks before I gave up time with my kids. Plus, you'll pay a ton more in child support if you give up time with them. Look at this. A man, a man with some sense. Maybe talk to your boss about scheduling your travel for the weeks you don't have the kids. Most people will make reasonable accommodations for you. Maybe get in with the mom group to help you out and get the kids to and from activities. If they live close, most people don't care about throwing a couple more in the back and driving an extra block or two. 10 years old is tough. As they get older, there's less relying on you, and they'll start doing more things with friends instead of organized activities. I know it's exhausting, but do not give up 50-50 arrangement. Just plow through and be exhausted. This comes from a guy who would kill to have a 50-50 deal, one downside of Texas divorce. Henry's my agent says she most certainly is a bad mother when she escalates trivial BS to the point that you are seriously considering giving up custody to her. But you don't know if he's the one that kind of messed up his own thing and didn't make the payment. Good parents facilitate relationships with the other parent as that helps a child grow into a well adjusted adult. Bad parents create drama to break down their child's relationship with the other parent. This is pure selfishness. But we don't know if he's the one that's just negligent in handling his own affairs. She doesn't have to step in and handle his affairs for him. P.S. Unscrupulous divorce attorneys advise women to do this as to get more custody or more favorable terms. Do not fall for this trick. And we don't even know if she wants full custody. She might like her arrangement because she gets a break when he has to parent his own children. Anyways, did this make you smile? Go ahead, join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.